Hello students, now we are going to discuss about multi-level inheritance, method override with parent-child constructors. So multi-level inheritance, we know that this is level by level inheritance. Method overrides the parent class and child class contains the same method signatures, parent and child constructors. Parent class also have constructor and child class also constructors. So we see about the how can implement the multi-level inheritance and method overrides and how can apply for parent-child constructors. First we see about the design, that is class diagram implementations. Later we see about the implementation in Eclipse. So first of all I want to create the packages. So I'm going to take the package name here. Let's take package name as a P2. I given package name as a P2 here. I want to create the classes. So first I want to create the parent class. Let's take one parent class here. The class name is called as box class. And the same class I want to derive to child classes. I want derive one child classes and one more child class also I want derive. So totally I have that three different classes. Let's implement the classes here. So we have to implement the parent-child relations. This is symbol we can use for parent-child relations. Now the first class is called as box class, which is the parent of all the classes. Is a box. Another class I am going to create a child class. This class name is called as box weight. And one more class called as shipment, that is box shipment classes. So totally I have three different classes. Box is my parent class and which can derive to child classes box weight, and box weight acting as a parent and which is going to derive child classes shipment classes. Now box class I want to add the members. So here I have member as LBH values. So I can add all the members as default members because everything I'm going to write with the same packages. So that's all the members as a default member. Double. And the box class having one constructors. The constructor name is called as box constructors, which is having three parameters. So I'm taking all three parameters, local parameters. And constructor not having any return type. By default return type is a class name as a box. So these are constructors added. Then I am going to add the one more method. This constructor is a default constructors. So access method is given as default. Then I have one default method as a find volume, which returns the volume of the box as a double. Then I want to add one more method called display. So I want to display the box dimensions. So let's take this method as void methods. Now the parent class is implemented here. The parent class contains three instance variable LBH, one parametric constructor, and one find volume method and one display methods. Now box weight class I want to add here. These are child classes, which is extended from the box classes. So it contains one default parameters that's called weight as a double. And we have one parametric constructors as a parametric constructor here. So I want to add one parametric constructors. Here I want to take all the parameters here. So I want to consider all the parent class parameters also, because the child constructor, when I'm implementing child constructor, so when I'm calling child constructor, it first you have to build the parent constructors. So first of all, I'm going to call child constructor. From child constructor through, I want to call the parent constructor by using super of methods. Double. And constructor not having any return type. By default, class name is return type. Then I want to add the one method. The method called as display method, which is going to display the box weight. And see here, the parent class box class contains the display method, and box weight child class also contains display method. It is called as override methods. Display method is override in the parent class and as well as child classes. Override in the sense parent class and child class must contain the same method signatures. And I am going to implement shipment classes. Shipment class contains one parameter, that is cost parameters. That also can take as a double or long. I am going to take as long parameters. And the shipment class also have one constructor. I want to pass all the parameters, including parent class parameter also. Double. And shipment class parent class is box weight, so I want to pass the weight also here. And one more parameter I want to pass as cost parameters, that is including long. And constructor not having any return type. By default, class name is return type shipment. And next shipment class I want to add the method is override methods. That's a display method which returns the void. You see here, the parent class, first parent class box class contains display, and child class box weight also contains display. Again, one more child class we derived called shipment class, that also called as shipment display methods. So display method is overrides in the different child classes. Then I am going to add the one more method, the default method by default method. Then I have one method here, that is the main methods, which is static methods. So display also default access space. Let's see implementations here. Box is the parent class, and which is deriving a child class extended to child classes box weight, and box weight class also acting as the parent of shipment classes. Now all three classes having constructors, and all three classes having methods as display methods. Now child class going to override your parent classes. So this scenario is called as multi-level. The parent class derived in child class. Again, the child also derived into one more child class called shipment classes. Now this is called as multi-level inheritance, and as well as method overrides and parent-child class constructors. Let's go for the implementation of the designs. So in design, I want to create three different classes. First class called as box class, that's the parent class. And second class I want to create as box weight as child class. And the super class name we have to mention as box. If you given here, automatically extend keyword is added here, while implementing classes box weight class extended from the box classes. Then how to implement one more class called shipment classes, and this class super class is called box weight. And shipment class contains the main method. So class was loaded with the main also here. Now shipment class object is created. So class is created. You see here there are three different classes created here. One is the box class as a parent, and box weight is child class which is extended from the box class, and shipment of the child classes which is extended from the box weight classes. Now the main method is available in the shipment classes. Here I want to create the object. So here I am going to create the object as shipment class object. So I am creating shipment object here. Shipment is equal to new shipment. So shipment class contains the parameters, that is constructor is available here. So we want to add the constructors. So first of all I want to add all the class constructors here. Members I want to fill the parameter classes. So here I have member as a double L comma B comma H, and this class contains one parameter constructors. So I want to add the parameter constructor here. So parameter is LBH values. I want to take a LBH values. So constructor is generated. You see here also local parameter LBH values. Here also instance parameter LBH values. If local variables and instance variable both are same, we can differentiate by using this keyword. So here this dot L, the blue color indicates that instance variable, the brown color indicates the local variables. So whenever I am having local variables and instance variable both are same, we can differentiate by using this keywords. Then this method have one method as void display. Now box class over, then you can go to box weight classes. So here I want to write as members first. So that member is called double member as a weight. Then this box weight class contains one parameter constructors. And which is having the more number of parameters. These all LBH values also available. And as well as one more parameter as a double parameter as a W. And this also overrides the method called display. So display is the override methods because parent class box also contains display method. Child class box weight also contains the display methods. Now we have to implement the shipment classes. Shipment class I have one instance member, that's long and as a cost parameters. Then we have one constructors here, that's shipment constructors with the parameterized. And LBH value have to pass, and the parent class parameter W and the same class parameters long, cost. And this class also contains one override methods void display. Now let's implement this one. So I'm creating object for shipment classes. In main method I'm going to create the parent child class object. Shipment is equal to new shipment. Here I have the parameters. So I want to initialize the parameter here. Shipment class contains the 5 arguments. That is first 3 arguments are parent arguments, that is LBH values, and one more parameter is the box weight arguments W, and the same class parameter cost parameters. So I'm giving us 10, 11, 12. These 3 are called box dimensions. Right? Either we can take runtime input or compile time input. If you are using runtime inputs, you can add the scanner class and take the inputs directly here. Next, I want to pass the box weight. Let's take box weight as 115.256 kg. Then I want to pass the cost values. Let's take the 1000 rupees is my cost. So I have passed these 5 parameters. First 3 parameters are box dimension, then box weight as well as cost parameters. Now this constructor is getting invoked. So very simple one. This is child class. Child class constructor, if you want to implement, first I want to implement the parent class constructor. So through the child classes I want to build the parent constructor by using superof methods. So I can use the superof method. I can implement the parent class constructors. So I can pass the L comma B comma H values and as well as W. So if you are using superof methods, this superof method we can call the parent class. Shipment class having the parent as box weight. Now control is transferred to box weight classes. Now this box weight is child class of box. So if you want to implement child constructor, first I have to implement the parent class constructor. So box weight parent is a box class. So I want to call first box class constructor by using superof keywords, superof functions. So I am using superof LBH values. So if I am using this one superof, now the parent class constructor is called, that's box class constructor is called now. So I can go to the box class constructor. Here LBH values are initialized. So here I can initialize the LBH values. Then Here I want to initialize w value also. The local parameter also w is there, and instant parameter also w is there. So I can initialize w values like that. Now here instance variables are initialized. Then I can go to shipment classes. Shipment classes parent class constructor is already called. So I want to initialize my instance variable, that is cost value equal to cost. You see operations here. If I am creating child object, first I want the child class constructor, but I have to call the parent class constructor first. So here, suppose if you have not implemented this one, by default taking a super of methods. In parent class I have a parameter constructor, so user wants to call the super of with the parameters. So this shipment class called the parent class as a box weight constructor by using super of. Again, this box weight I am going to call the constructor of box class by using super of again, because box weight is child of box classes. So first I want to implement the first parent class constructor, then child constructor, then one more child constructor or the instant main. So function call is going for forward directions. First I want to implement child constructor, then you can go to for parent class, then I can implement first parent classes. So the flow is going like that only. Now the constructor is called, all constructor is called and members also initialized. Then I want to call the method as a display method, so I am writing as s.display. If I am calling s.display, so if in here display method is available in all the parent classes. Box class also having display method, box weight also having display method, and shipment class also display methods. So when I am calling object s here, s is a shipment class object. So if I am calling display method, first the object will check the same class display method is available or not. So here I called object s is a shipment object. The shipment class contains a display method. So control is transferred only for shipment classes, right? Because the same class contains the display method. Suppose if I am not having this display method, that means that child class not having display. Now child class can refer the parent classes. Now it go to parent class display method if not available in child classes. So if you have that is display method, so it refers only same class methods. So from these classes I want to call the parent class display methods. So I can use the keyword as super. I can write as super.display. If you given super.display, the super keyword can refer only immediate parent classes. So shipment class immediate parent is box weight. So first of all I call the box weight class display methods. If I am using super.display, it called immediate parent class display methods. So immediate parent is box weight. Now box weight display method is called. From here I want to call again the parent class, so I can use the display methods. So if you given super.display, the box weight class will call immediate parent class display method. So box weight immediate parent class is box classes. So here I want to display the box dimensions. Here I can write as, here that's the box dimensions. So here I am displaying box dimensions, LBH values I am going to display. Then control return back to this function call. Now super.display is completed. If I want to display the box cost rate. Now box weight getting displayed. Once this display method is over, control return back to shipment class display. Now this super.display is over. Now we want to display the costs. You see here, first I called s.display. S.display means this method is getting invoked. Again I am calling super.display. This super.display indicates that box weight display methods, because box weight is the immediate parent of shipment classes. Again in this display method I called super.display. This super.display indicates that immediate parent class. Here immediate parent class is box. Now control is transferred to box class. So box class contains display method. Here I am displaying all the box dimensions. Once box dimension displayed, then control transferred to box weight classes. I am displaying box weight. Once this display method is over, control again return back to shipment class display method. Here I am going to display shipment cost. So let's execute this program. We'll check the outputs. This is one. You can see the output. First I'm displaying box dimensions, then later I'm displaying box weight, and last I'm displaying a box cost. So this kind of design is called as multi-level inheritance with method overrides and as well as parent class and child class constructor implementations. So there are three different concepts inherited in these programs, added in this concept: multi-level inheritance, method overrides, plus parent class and child class constructors. This box is a parent class which is derived into box weight. Again, box weight is a parent class which is derived into shipment classes. And here box class also constructor is available and display methods. Box weight also having constructor and display method. Shipment class also constructor and as well as display method. So all three classes having constructor as well as display override methods. So whenever implementing child constructor, first is how to implement the parent class constructor by using super off. Then we can, again, this class also having the constructor, we have to implement the parent constructor by using super off. Now box is the parent of all the classes. Then if I'm calling display method, this is nothing but this shipment class object. So first is to refer only same class methods, same class having display method here. If you're not having here, the control will transfer to parent class. Here display method is available. Now here I called as parent class by using super keywords. So by using super keyword we can access immediate parent class members and methods. So super.display which is access to box weight. Now again I'm writing super.display, it will access immediate parent class display method, that is called box class display methods. So output is displaying like that. So this is the way we can implement the multi-level inheritance, method overrides and parent class and child class constructors. Thank you all.